you a nationwide warranty, and they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
We're talking with Rihanna Wickett at Elevate Performance Physical Therapy with an Elevate Performance Health Minute. So if somebody has an athlete, Rihanna, who they suffer a concussion, they come and see you, what can you do for them?
We want to see them as soon as possible to make sure that we can make their return to sport as safe as possible. So we can look at proprioception, balance, vestibular work, and cervical strength. When
they try to get back up to speed, you said a treatment plan, very important as they return to sport. Making sure that the athlete has a skilled plan moving forward so that they don't return to sport way too early, making sure that the return to contact is an appropriate timing. And the goal of that is you do not want to have another concussion getting back to it too early. Correct. If we have another concussion too early, the athlete is at a huge risk of further problems down the road, including anything with their school or memory or continuous headaches. For concussion treatment, get started at elevateperformancesd.com.
Could there be a better name? Auto Value Parts Stores. They aren't just about air fresheners or fuzzy dice. Auto Value Parts Stores are all about parts, auto parts, and advice. Pros who know auto parts with tons of tips when you need them the most. You want real value? Don't go to a place with a cute name. Go to Auto Value. Could there be a better name? I didn't think so. Your Auto Value Parts Store. We've got the parts, we've got the smarts.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Super Bowl, Eagles offensive lineman Nick Gates added to the report, limited in practice on Thursday with a groin injury. Jalen Carter wasn't available for media availability on Thursday due to an illness. He had been limited on Wednesday, but he's back at full practice on Thursday. In the NBA trade deadline, Kevin Durant remains with the Phoenix Suns, but the Atlanta Hawks are the big sellers at the deadline, sending DeAndre Hunter to Cleveland, sending Bogdan Bogdanovic to the Clippers for Terrence Mann and Bones Highland. Charlotte sent Mark Williams to the Lakers this morning for Dalton Knecht, Cam Reddish, and a first-round pick, while the Clippers sent Kevin Porter Jr. to the Bucks. Suns traded Yusuf Nurkic to the Charlotte Hornets, and the Brooklyn Nets are working on a buyout for Ben Simmons. Carolina Panthers wide receiver Adam Thielen addressing media in New Orleans says he's not retiring, plans to play in 2025. I'm Chris Perfett.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in. Thursday edition, South Dakota Sports Talk Show, back and ready. Glad you're here. This is the day, right? We're going to make our picks. Are you ready? I'm going to open this thing up. It's time to make your Super Bowl predictions. Let's get after it. It's always a great day in South Dakota. Let's get rolling. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio. Glad you're a part of the program. You make this show possible, so we appreciate that. And we're getting set as well on Twitter, streaming live right now. You can watch the show at Nate Brown Show on Twitter. Watch the show right there. And remember to bring us up on YouTube as well. Subscribe to the channel. You've got us, The Nate Brown Show, on YouTube. The Nate Brown Show packed on this Thursday. We said it's going to be a fun day. I will tell you, it's packed tonight with Lee Sterling. He's our handicapper all season long, and he kind of wraps this whole thing up with all of his Super Bowl plays. So Lee Sterling's getting set to pick his winners and give us a couple of prop bets along the way. So Lee Sterling coming up. It's all part of the Forever Lawn guest lineup on the Nate Brown Show tonight. So let's get popping. Take a look at the rest of the guests tonight. And happy hour coming up, brought to you by the Skybox, Rapid City's premier sports bar, getting set for the big game Sunday. The Forever Lawn guest lineup brought to you by Forever Lawn of South Dakota. They're ready to install the best artificial grass in the state on both sides of the state. They service the entire state. It's Forever Lawn of South Dakota. If you haven't checked this stuff out, I went to their headquarters. I'm like, I got to see this stuff before I start talking about it. It's unbelievable. Golf greens for your backyard guys, chip and putt. You can put in a golf green. They got canine grass for the dogs, specifically for dogs, sports grass, turf, fields, landscape grass, which is outstanding, maintenance-free, looks great. It is great. The artificial grass in South Dakota is from Forever Lawn. Just Google them. Forever Lawn in South Dakota. Get on their schedule for the spring and summer. They're getting ready to put it in this summer. Forever Lawn in South Dakota. The Forever Lawn guest lineup. I told you, Lee Sterling on a special Super Bowl edition of his picks. ParamountSports.com. Top handicapper in the country. He'll give us his take on the big game. Let's go to Jason Andera tonight, high school basketball analyst from Sioux Falls, inside the 605. Is he going to argue with me on my I shouldn't say I'm a fan of this proposal that came out yesterday, and we're going to expand on that for the state tournament. So Jason Andera is coming in inside the 605. How about St. Thomas More, all-state player who's now the great player at South Dakota State? She hit a milestone last night. Haley Timmer is going to join us live from Brookings, South Dakota State basketball guard. The Jackrabbit women beat UND last night, and Haley Timmer with a big mark last night. She'll be live coming up from Brookings. So a good show across the board, some football, hoops, and more. Thursday happy hours on tap with Rob Kegron tonight, live in studio. You bet. We'll shoot it around a lot with Rob tonight. You know that. Rob Kegron's coming in, brought to you by the Skybox, your home for the Super Bowl on Sunday. Let's get you on tonight. Yes, I invite you on 605-720-1067. And that's the Pizza Ranch studio hotline, 605-720-1067. And the Barron's Wilson text line, open and ready. Text the show on this great day, big day. Last show of the week as we get set for the big game. I will make my score prediction, but here's what I want from you on the studio line and on the text line. We're going to start this puppy right now, right here. So Rob Kegron's coming in, Skybox, for happy hour, next hour. But I thought, let's do it up a little bit for the listeners of the Nate Brown Show. Let's set you guys up with a $50 gift card to the Skybox. Just for giving your score prediction for the Super Bowl this weekend. Okay, so that's how we're going to start tonight. I want you to break it down for me. I want to see which way people are going, because what I'm seeing on the, the analysts and all the pundits and all the talking heads. Am I a talking head? Maybe. All the talking heads are saying, I'm seeing this a ton, the Chiefs. They're going the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to win again. Nobody's believing in the Eagles. I've got my score right in front of me. Okay, I've got my score. I'm going to give that out here. Hang tight. You're just waiting with bated breath, right? Just waiting on pins and needles. I'm going to give my score. I want your score. Okay, I want your score. I'll open up the line, 605-720-1067, just by entering your Super Bowl score. We've done this. I think we've done this every year for quite a while. But I said I want to throw in a prize here, set you up with the Firehouse Skybox gift card. So you folks that love the Skybox downtown Rapid City on Main Street, I'll set you up with a $50 gift card just by sending in your score, and you'll be entered to win. We'll pull that out at the end of the show tonight, so we'll pull a winner out for sure. Let's see, 605-720-1067. You can hit us on the text line. That's a good way to do it, because then I can find your number here. It's all anonymous, but we got your numbers. We got your text coming in. We'll pull out a random winner tonight on the Barron's Wilson text line, okay? Give me your score. Give me your breakdown. Which way are you going? Let's get some early ones here. Let's see what the Fox Sports Radio Nate Brown Show audience says tonight. I'm just curious what you guys say. Is this Chiefs country, or is this Chiefs haters? I've seen a lot of Chiefs fans again coming in and saying, I've been a Chiefs fan my entire life. I know there's a guy that listens to this show. You know who you are. There's Chiefs lifers here, so I'm going to give them credit, but there's Chiefs fans coming out of the woodwork. Time to get your Super Bowl score prediction in, sponsored by the Firehouse Skybox. $50 gift card to you from the Nate Brown Show and the Firehouse Skybox. $50 will go a long way. Grab some Firehouse food, some burgers, some brews, and you'll be set up, all right? So we'll pick a random winner tonight after the show as we wrap this thing up. Let's go to some early scores. 605-720-1067. If you want to text it in, you got us there. Here's some early scores. Chiefs 27, Eagles 25. And he breaks this thing down. Both teams get 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals, but the Eagles miss a PAT. Then they fail on a 2-point conversion attempt way too early in the third quarter, and the Chiefs don't beat themselves and get a game-winning field goal. Now, that guy is like, I don't know if that guy's having a nightmare live on the show. I don't know if he's having a nightmare, but he just laid that out. Like, that's very specific. Like, I'm not even going to get that specific. And I'm supposed to dig into this thing all the time. So he says Chiefs 27, Eagles 25. Here's one. Chiefs 24, Eagles 21. Another one. Chiefs 24, Eagles 16. The Eagles are only going to score 16 points? 16 points? Enter to win Super Bowl prediction day on the Nate Brown Show. Thanks for calling. You're live, and you go ahead.
Repeat, Nate. Hate to say it.
Oh, it's coming?
It's coming.
Why?
Why?
Normally,
Nate,
you don't let. Normally, you say, I'm not going to blow smoke up the Chiefs. Normally, you say the Chiefs aren't going to do it. Why do you think they are?
It's the NFC.
Weak?
The NFC? I mean, that's who we're playing, right? They haven't been a real conference, and I don't know how long, Nate.
Very interesting. So,
I mean, honestly, look how weak that division was this year.
No, I get it.
14 games, and then they show up in a playoff. Get spanked.
Don't you think Detroit was pretty good? Don't you think?
They had too many injuries. That one dude, he does the commercials, kind of a big guy, Hutchinson or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, they missed him.
That did hurt. So they were pretty good. So Chiefs win what? What's the score?
Good, and then there's great. Even if Mahomes loses, who in the last 9 years has been a better quarterback?
Probably nobody. Nobody.
Nate, it's about the big game. It's about winning the Super Bowl. I mean, who would you rather have? An ugly guy that can score, that can win games? Or do you want some pretty guy that can barely speak English?
Hey, I've got something
for you. He's got to cover his eyes and his mouth when he talks.
I've got something for you. I want your score.
39 Chiefs. No, 38-29. I'm sorry.
38-29. 38-29.
What a wicked one. Let me tell you, take the over. I did last week.
Okay.
Well, actually, I did it after I was one of the first ones at Caesars. And going back to yesterday, I've been using Caesars for probably about 7 years now, ever since my bookie in Omaha died.
Okay. All right.
They should have satellite gambling.
Oh, yeah. We'll see where this goes. I mean, it's been an uphill battle. All right, man.
But it will be a three-peat.
All right. You're on record. Appreciate you. Thanks for getting on. 38-29. I had to get Steve's prediction tonight, right? I mean, we had to do that tonight. 38-29. You seem like that's a little high scoring. Is that a little high scoring, Steve? Well, what's my score? Hang on. Let's get a few more from the Nate Brown Show audience here. Set you up with $50 gift card to the Skybox. How about this? 27-24 Eagles. There's my first. The first Eagles pick. You guys are scared to pick the Eagles, aren't you? You're scared to pick the Eagles. I was trying to figure out, can I just walk into the bank and get $10,000 out today? Can I lay that down? Is my wife listening? I'm not sure, but let's see. Yeah, I'm just curious. You guys are afraid to pick the Eagles, aren't you? I'm not afraid to pick them. You know that. Let's see. 22-17 Eagles. So we got some more Eagles love coming in. Maybe these are Broncos fans. That's okay. We got some Eagles love coming in. 22-17 Eagles. Listener text, unfortunately, I got to go Chiefs 27-26. Now, that would be a killer. That would be another killer for me Sunday night. Chiefs win by 1. My goodness. A few more, and then we'll get to my pick. Chiefs 35-24. 35-24. You're very confident in that? That's a beatdown. That's a beatdown. Let's see. Even though I hate to say it, the Chiefs win 26-24. Mahomes has the ball last and scores late to win. Thanks for that. I've seen that a lot. Thank you for that contribution. Thank you for your thoughts. All right. Let's see. Chiefs 27, Eagles 20. So we're definitely, the audience is going heavy Chiefs. Chiefs will unleash a new offense. They'll unleash a new offense. Well, maybe not a new offense, but probably some plays in the hopper for Andy Reid. I would expect that. Hey, Matt Kearney is wanting to make his prediction. Do you know Matt Kearney? You should. He's the guy running the show here on the Nate Brown Show. Matt Kearney's making his prediction right before I make mine. Matt Kearney's picks. Oh, my gosh, Matt. What are you doing? What are you doing? Matt Kearney's picks. 24-10, Chiefs. 24-10. Matt, the Eagles are going to have 10 points at the end of the first quarter. Not in the whole game. Did you mean that was the first quarter? Come on. All right. I'll let Kearney take his spotlight there. Let's go a couple more. Oh, this is a good one. Eagles 75, Chiefs 0. Well, thanks. I appreciate you entering our contest. And that here's one more. For the $50 gift card, I think Steve should sing on M. Hill that the Chiefs win. Do we all want that? I don't know if we want that. Careful. Okay, let's get into this, okay? I'm going to get to Jason Andera on this high school basketball story here in South Dakota, which I love. And I'm not a coach, but I still love it. I can have an opinion. I've been told this, okay? So we're going to get to that. Hang on. Here's my prediction. We got Rob Kagron coming in, so I'll ask him next hour. Thursday happy hour starts up in the drive at 5, and Rob Kagron's coming up in happy hour. However, we got to make my pick since you entered yours, 605-720-1067. If you're just starting to listen to the program, welcome in. Super Bowl prediction. If you send us in your score tonight, we'll pick a random winner on the show right after the show tonight. So we'll send you a text on the Barron's Wilson text line from Fox Sports Radio, and we'll set you up with a $50 gift card if you're picked out. Just a random pick on a score prediction, so send it in if you want. I want to see where we're at. Pretty heavy Chiefs audience right now. Imagine that. 605-720-1067 on the Barron's Wilson text line. Text your Super Bowl score. Could win $50 to the Firehouse Skybox downtown Rapid City. All right, the total is 49. That's the gambling total. So the total's 49. So my score is going to go over that. I think people are saying this is going to be a defensive struggle because a lot of times in these big games, the juice is going and they're hyped and they're making mistakes. So the offense is not playing as good as the defense. That's what happens a lot of times in these big games. I think the offense is going to be rolling. I think the offense is going to be rolling for the Eagles, and I think the Chiefs are going to move the ball. If you haven't seen this stat, these two teams lead the NFL in 10-play-plus drives. 10-play-plus drives. So maybe that'll shorten it. So what that tells me is they're going to be on the field, but it usually tells me it ends in points. So 10-play-plus drives, both teams really good at it. I think you're going to see more points. Total is 49. I'm going to go over that. The Chiefs in Vegas are favored by 1.5 still. I'm still trying to figure out, can I take the 10K out, just walk into the bank? No. We'll see, because I'm going Eagles tonight. Fly, Eagles, fly. I hate being a part of that crowd. Sorry. I hate being a part of it, but I got to go Eagles. They're better up front. I don't like this illness that they're throwing around. They got an illness going through the team, so I'm a little sketchy. Maybe I'll take that 10K down to 250. I don't know, but we'll see. Illness going around the Eagles. I'm still rolling with the Eagles. Let's hope this illness isn't a big factor. They're going to put up enough points, and they'll win by a touchdown. Give me the Eagles 31-24. Eagles 31-24. 55 points is my total, and I'll go Eagles 31-24. Let's see here. Wait, I just got a text. 31-24 is his final. Oh, hang on. He just went Chiefs. We have the same score, but flip it. Okay, I see your score, but you went 31-24 Chiefs. I'm going 31-24 Eagles. Lister text, it's hazardous to your wallet to bet against Mahomes. Well, I understand. I found that out. I had a parlay ticket last year. You want me to tell you? I had a parlay ticket last year. I hit a couple of basketball games, and then I threw in the 49ers just for kicks. Lost a nice win. Not going to tell you how much. A really nice win. Just because the Chiefs hit me again. But I'm not doing it. I'm going with the Eagles. I have to. Eagles 31, Chiefs 24. That's my score. We'll get back to it with Lee Sterling. He's going to make his official pick. He's been handicapping games. That's what he does out of Miami. ParamountSports.com, one of the top handicappers in the country. You've got him on tonight for the last time until football starts again. Lee Sterling coming up. But first, high school basketball. There's a proposal that I like, and I think the East River schools don't like. So I got to stand up for West River. Jason Andero with this state tournament proposal. His discussion next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Want to improve your putting? Master your chip shots? Golf Greens by Forever Lawn is the ultimate synthetic turf to improve your short game. For the committed golfer to the recreational player, we create custom golf greens to make your home or business the premier practice and entertainment destination. Call 605-831-9026 or Google Forever Lawn in South Dakota. With dealerships on both sides of the state, we're ready to help you shave strokes off your golf game. Forever Lawn in South Dakota.
Whether you're a pro or a Joe, a weekend warrior or a gardening great, Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is here when you need us. Nobody plans an injury, but when people throughout the Black Hills and beyond suffer a setback, Monument Health Orthopedics is here to provide comprehensive medical care. Our team of board-certified orthopedic surgeons and specialists is dedicated to helping patients regain the quality of life they've lost due to an injury, arthritis, or joint wear and tear. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for everyday athletes like you.
Hi, it's Nate Brown for Black Hills Community Bank. If you run your own company or you're looking to start a small business here in the Black Hills, you want to make sure you choose the right banking partner. And I know the right choice for business is Black Hills Community Bank. They have plenty of banking options to suit your specific needs. And Black Hills Community Bank is here to help business owners thrive and to make sure you have the support and tools to help your business grow. Just contact one of their business loan experts today or visit bhcbank.com. Member FDIC.
I am here with Weston and Tanisha Chapman from Black Hills Tire.
We're the neighborhood shop for the whole town because we will pick up and deliver anywhere in town. We will do whatever we can to help anybody.
It's important to us that somebody can say like, hey, my mom needs something. They need this and I know you'll take care of them. I think that means more to us than anything is when somebody will say like, I need somebody in my family taken care of and I know you guys will take care of them. And that's just because that's community to us.
We all help each other out. We can create this community together.
Check us out at blackhillstire.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Chance of snow tonight, otherwise cloudy. Lows around 13. Easterly winds around 5 miles per hour. Overcast skies tomorrow, slight chance of snow. Daytime highs approaching 25. Overcast tomorrow night, snow likely 7 above. 1 to 2 inches of snow tonight through tomorrow night. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 29 degrees.
Danny Manholt Rapid Chevrolet buys cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment at rapidchevrolet.com for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. at Danny Menholt Rapid Chevrolet, Rapid City.
It seems like the cost of everything is going up, so it's nice to save a little dough when you can, especially for something you love to eat every day. Before I go grocery shopping, I print out a coupon for $1 off any Country Hearth, Village Hearth, or Artisan Hearth bread product. My favorite is Dakota Style 12 grain. My wife's breakfast go-to is a toasted Village Hearth English muffin. We can save $1 on each. Go to countryhearthbreads.com/coupons and print 1 or 2 out before your next shopping trip. And don't forget, Country Hearth, Village Hearth, and Artisan Hearth bread products are baked locally and delivered fresh daily.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
Welcome back in. South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Just getting going on a Thursday. A lot to cover tonight. We got Lee Sterling coming up from Miami, ParamountSports.com. Handicapping the Super Bowl. He's got his pick tonight on the game, and he's got some props that he wants to throw in there. Some interesting ones from Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, coming up. Haley Timbers on tonight from Brookings. She had a big mark last night. The former St. Thomas More guard, All-Stater, now at South Dakota State, having a nice year. The Jacks women's basketball team's 20-3. Boy, they're good. Haley Timmer on tonight. We'll talk about her redshirt junior year. Thursday happy hour is on tap as well with Rob Kegron, so a fun show tonight. Jason Ander is joining us. His show is on YouTube. It's called Inside the 605, talking high school hoops. 605 Jandy on Twitter, and he's here on the Nate Brown Show. Jason, how are you?
Doing well. Good to be on the Nate Brown Show as always.
Here we go, man. Now, you're not a big, pro sports, passion. I mean, you like it, but you've told me this. I don't know. I'm not a fanatic. So, Super Bowl, what do we got? What do we got cooking, Jason Andera? You going Chiefs? You going Eagles? What do you got cooking?
I do get into the NFL. That's the one sport I definitely do get into. But you're right. I just get taken over by high school so much that sometimes I do feel a little behind. But I'm dialed in. I heard everybody making picks. I think the last 3 Super Bowls have all been 3-point games, and that trend continues. I think the Chiefs win by 3, 27-24, and they do it with 4 touchdowns and missed 1 2-point conversion. I'm just going to go really deep on that one.
Very nice. I don't like the pick, but very nice. Thank you.
Of course you don't.
Chiefs 27-24. All right, I'm going Eagles because I had to. And I do believe the Eagles will win. Everybody's going against the Eagles. They're just tough enough and better.
They're a better team than the Chiefs. It's just they don't have Mahomes,
All right, I do know that, and we're going to find out Sunday. Here's a high school sports topic that I want to have a discussion on. It's out of the basketball meeting yesterday. One proposal came out of the basketball meeting yesterday, and it's a AA state tournament proposal. We haven't tried this. It's a hybrid model of, can we have some seeding and pick 4 teams from it to get into the state tournament, and can we have region tournaments and pick the other 4 teams, the champions of the region tournament. This came from Rapid City Central, and they're going to go to the ADs now to vote on this. What is Jason Andera's thoughts?
The regions, I think, don't mean as much when you get to AA. I know it does for the Rapid City schools because, it'll lessen their travel and it will get regional representation. But at the AA level, with so few teams, I think you need to take every effort to get the best teams in the state tournament. And I think going without regions is just fine. Of course, that's my perspective. And I think with the lower classes, that regional representation might be more important. I don't think it's as important for AA. And I'm guessing that's why this proposal came out, is to get some regional representation from the West, and I don't know if that benefits everybody.
Okay, let me ask this: is this going to turn into a West River versus East River argument? Is that what this is at the AD's meeting?
I think in AA it is. I think it is. I think there is a really limited window for teams to make the state tournament in AA. As far as you've got a team and they turn over every year, and it's important to, in some of the smaller schools, you have the same players that play 3 or 4 years. In AA, it's 1 or 2 years. So you got to make sure every single year you get the best field into a state tournament. And I think I love the way they do it now with the seeding of the 1 through 8 and with the SODAC 16 added to it. I think that gets the fairest, most balanced state tournament field. So when you say, is this going to come between East and West? I think most of the support for that would be from the West.
Okay, my argument when we always say, well, with the SODAC 16, the one-game play-in, we seed everybody out, and then we have one game decide the state tournament field. My argument against that, they say, well, that gets the best teams in. So one basketball game tells me who's best after 20?
It does, because of the seeding throughout the season. Yeah, I really do think it does, and you're not going to get you might get some upsets, but you're not going to get, the top 4 teams are not going to get upset on just a one-game basis, being able to play at home. Of course it could happen, but again, that's why you play the entire season, to get the seeding so that you can get a home game, that you can get a favorable game in the SODAC 16 to be able to advance the state.
I don't know if I'm going to turn Jason Andera on this show tonight, but here is a couple of arguments, okay? So some real arguments on this. This is a hybrid model, so people say, well, we already did this. They didn't. This proposal says, let's do the regions, 4 regions, and then you have your region tournament. The champions win that. There's your 4 spots. And then it would reseed. It would seed the 8 teams, and then you'd have 1, 8, 2, 7, and you'd play those games. Then you would get those 4 teams, the next best 4 in the state tournament, rather than we were stuck in regions. You had to actually play within your region, even if you lost, and so it wasn't like wide open after that. So this would open it up. So I'm going to tell you, the region side of this, better games, great crowds, better opportunities for the kids to not have to travel. That 1 versus 16, like you could have Douglas playing, Yankton or whatever, one game on a Thursday night. I just that SODAC 16 model, and people have said, is some of these games are bad. Why not have some better crowds, less travel, and have a region exciting rivalry time, even out in Sioux Falls? You'd have some great games there.
Those are all good points, and whoever put this together, they definitely put some thought into it. And you're right, you probably would have better crowds, but is it necessary to get the best 8 teams into the state tournament? That's the part I think you're going to have some pushback on, is does it make the best state tournament field? That's in the eye of the beholder, I guess, because we could talk about this for a long time, and everybody's going to have a little bit different take on it. But to me, that's what it really comes down to, is trying to get the best field possible. Yes, there are some advantages to doing it the hybrid way. I just don't think it's enough to push the ADs to make that change.
All right. Jason Andera on tonight talking high school hoops. There is a basketball proposal for AA state tournament qualifying that came out of that meeting yesterday. It's going to go to the activities directors for an official vote coming up this spring. Would they change the way we qualify for state tournaments? Right now, it's just seeded out 1 through 16. It's a one-game play-in into the state tournament. Last but not least, Rapid City's got the AA girls and boys, okay? AA girls and boys. What if there's no Rapid City teams in a Rapid City tournament? That's happened, and that turns out to be not great.
Well, you're right. It doesn't. It's not the most well attended without the West River representation. I think the Rapid City girls, Stevens looks like definitely a contender at this point. But on the boys' side, you could definitely see something like that. Even some of the other Black Hills teams, there's no shoe-in. Spearfish is playing pretty well, but there could be an entirely East River state tournament on the boys' side. What would that look like? I mean, it would look similar to what we've seen in the past, and that's not a great look. But again, what's the best way to do this? And you're going to come up with a million different options, and they continue to try things, and nothing's been perfect. So I just guess that's something we're going to have to live with.
The Sodak 16 hill. Jason Andera's on top of it. I'm dying on the other hill to get the region representation with the tournament back in.
Convinced me a few times, Nate, to change my mind on this show, but I might have to warm up to that one. I don't know.
Not on that. Okay, by the way, there was a proposal that did not get any motions yesterday, and I didn't like this. I haven't asked you about this. It was a AA proposal to play everybody once, round-robin style. You'd have essentially 19 games, AA only, and that would take out Sioux Falls, who they do home and away out there. That would take out O'Gorman playing Sioux Falls Christian. That would take out Stevens playing Rapid City Christian. So that proposal didn't go anywhere. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I mean, in theory, that makes sense, but when you try to put it into practice, I agree. I don't think that's a great way to schedule games throughout the regular season, taking away a lot of those extra rivalries, taking away a lot of the convenience and travel. But I get the theory of it. It's similar to football where everybody plays everybody, so then you have truly even records when it comes to seeding for the playoffs. But in basketball, that makes it just a little too difficult.
By the way, let's go AA since we're talking heavy AA. Jason Andera's on tonight inside the 605. Is Mitchell the team to beat, no doubt, in boys?
No, no doubt. I think if Lincoln plays them again, it's going to be I really think it'll be a different story. I went to watch that game between Lincoln and Mitchell, and I give Mitchell all the credit in the world. They played excellent defense. They played without one of their best players, Colton Smith, about half the game because he was hurt during the game, and they still dominated on the inside. But Lincoln was charging hard at the end of that game. Lincoln's best big man was out with an illness. There were things on both sides, and I think Lincoln, the way they've played since that loss, they have been absolutely dominating. The way they played before that loss, they beat two ranked teams by over 30 points apiece. It's definitely not Mitchell's to rest their laurels on, but I did vote them number one in the latest poll. I think a road win for Mitchell to go on the road, a team that really played 7 players most of the season and then went to that Lincoln game and played 10 players, got effective minutes from all 10 guys. That was huge for me. That shows that they got some depth, a problem that they've had earlier in the season. That makes them really dangerous.
All right, on the girls' side, Stevens coming out there this weekend, O'Gorman tomorrow, Brandon Valley Saturday. Big test there in AA girls. Are the Stevens girls up to it?
Yeah, it's such a difficult gauge for me to see a team like Stevens, have to make that travel all the way out here, play a game at night, and then come back early afternoon the next day and play another game. It's just not a super accurate test because those are the two best teams you're going to see all season long, and you're going to see them under tough conditions. So even if Stevens doesn't come out with this win, I still think they could be a contender at the end of the year, and I think it's going to be really difficult to get one win, let alone 2 wins against that type of competition.
Jason Andera getting it started tonight, talking hoops. Inside the 605 is the show on YouTube. Subscribe there, and it's a great basketball show. Jason, always good, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, take care.
Appreciate it. Jason Andera on tonight. Inside the 605 is his show, high school sports analyst from Sioux Falls. Find him on Twitter at 605jandy. So if you missed that yesterday, that was the big proposal that came out for basketball, was to go back to a similar model. We used to have district championships out here. You all remember this if you followed high school hoops. Stevens and Central, we had some showdowns in the district championship. The winner of that would go to the state tournament. Then they'd play back through a region. People didn't like that because it kept out certain teams East River in some of the regions, and they thought better teams back there should take these teams' spots. So now there's a new proposal to not have just regions locked in all the way through, but let's just do a similar district/region championship, take those 4 champions, then seed it with the 8 teams based on their PowerPoints. So you wouldn't be stuck in regions after that. You'd have a mix of district region tournaments with great crowds, great rivalries, less travel, so you'd save money and make money. You'd have great crowds there going to the region championships with local teams. Then you'd still have the model. I can get 4 more teams into the state tournament. The best teams, after we seed them now, 8 teams. Let's seed these final 8. Who wins those 4 games? Now they're in the state tournament. I really like the plan. I've been talking about a similar plan like that for years. I was like, this is what needs to happen, a mix of the SODAC 16 and the regions. Let's have the rivalries. Let's have some region representation of the state AA tournament, but let's also get best teams there and seed it out with the 8 remaining. I love it. I don't know if the East River ADs are going to push that forward. The athletic directors are going to vote on it this spring, the AA athletic directors, and I think the West River is going to be, they're just trying to steal a spot. They're trying to steal a state tournament spot. Well, it just makes too much sense from rivalries, better games, great crowds, less travel. Then you do get a region team in there. So when the AA tournament's here in Rapid City, it'd be nice to have a West River team in there, wouldn't it? I mean, that does make sense. I don't know if it's going to push forward. ADs are going to vote on it, so the proposal came out of the basketball meeting yesterday. We'll see where that goes. I would love it. Might be an uphill climb. Lee Sterling is on next, making his pick for the Super Bowl. Handicapper from Miami, Paramount Sports. Lee Sterling, his last appearance of football season next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk.
Are new windows from Renewal by Andersen a great investment? You're darn right they are. Did you know that for less than your cable bill or cell phone bill each month, you could have new windows from Renewal by Andersen right now? Do the math. Renewal by Andersen windows will likely cut your energy bills significantly. They will likely substantially increase the value of your home. They're a great investment. Please contact our team now and ask about our fantastic financing options with approved credit right now. Renewal by Andersen, a great investment? You're darn right.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, the number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Are new windows from Renewal by Andersen a great investment? You're darn right they are. Did you know that for less than your cable bill or cell phone bill each month, you could have new windows from Renewal by Andersen right now? Do the math. Renewal by Andersen windows will likely cut your energy bills significantly. They will likely substantially increase the value of your home. They're a great investment. Please contact our team now and ask about our fantastic financing options with approved credit right now. Renewal by Andersen, a great investment? You're darn right.
We're clearing out our 2024 models at Spearfish GMC Cadillac. We've discounted all of our remaining 2024 models, but don't wait because stock is limited. New 2024 Sierra 1500 up to $9,300 off. 24 GMC Yukon as low as $71,927. Remaining 24 Sierra HDs up to $6,000 off. And 24 Cadillac Lyric EV up to $10,000 off. Spearfish GMC Cadillac. Online always at spearfishmotors.com.
Hey, sports parents and ballers of all ages, Rapid City has a new sports facility that you have to check out. E3 Sports Complex on East North Street is the newest indoor sports facility featuring 4 full courts. E3 Sports is here to serve the community and wants all athletes of any age to come and experience expert training, coaching, and the opportunity to unlock your athletic potential. Memberships and court rentals are available now. Come to play at E3 Sports Complex. Learn more at e3sports.org.
Get away from it all in the great outdoors for lasting family memories with a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV. We make your RV experience fun and easy by providing you with a quality recreational vehicle, competitive pricing, and professional sales and service. Our large inventory of fifth-wheelers, travel trailers, toy haulers, and live-in horse trailers allows us to save our customers thousands of dollars compared to most dealers. Stop by and see us at Dakota Discount RV, 3330 East Mall Drive across from Cabela's and on JB Road, Blackhawk.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
It is the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Radio. Stream us now on X. Follow us and watch the show live. Welcome in studio right now on X at Nate Brown Show. Follow the show at Nate Brown Show and watch us live every afternoon drive. Thanks for making the show possible. Here we go. Lee Sterling, his last appearance for football season. Here it is. What a season. Handicapper. Great to have him on all season long. Paramount Sports. ParamountSports.com. Lee, welcome back on. How are you?
I'm good. I wish football could continue. Not only we have a great season, we finished not finished yet so far for the NFL playoffs. We're just a perfect 9-0. So looking for the first time ever to go perfect 10-0 in the NFL playoffs. So going to see if we can get it done.
Okay, let's get into this. Yep. Let's get to the game here in a minute. You always do some prop bets, and people like this. Super Bowl's the biggest bet thing. You always go, hey, I have some intel on national anthem, and you've knocked this out of the park. What's the story?
Okay, so here's the deal this year. So it's going to be sung this year by Jon Batiste, and Jon Batiste is one of these guys that's a musical genius. So he's done some crazy stuff. He's done some national anthems where he's playing the guitar and then stops and sings a little and then plays the piano and finishes up singing. So we only like it, and they're gonna shut this down. They're gonna make sure they're protected. If you can find a prop where from the start to the finish he is only singing, not playing any type of instrument, we actually like the under 2 minutes and 5 seconds. So if you can find where he's singing only from stop to finish, no at any time does he play any musical instrument like a guitar or a piano, then we actually like the under. He's done it usually in the 153 to 155 range. So they're going to make sure, Vegas is, that they don't get burned like last year when Reba McEntire sang the last line twice.
Yeah, I got you on that. You've been knocking this out of the park. He's had some intel. His daughter's a great singer. So, okay, so you go under as long as it's singing.
Just singing only. Like I said, if you just see it out there at 2 minutes and 5 seconds, you want to make sure there's a disclaimer that it's singing only.
All right. Lee Sterling with the national anthem prop to start. You got any more fun props? You want to get player props going?
They haven't really all come out yet. They're waiting to see, on guys, Joel Embiid, will he play on Sunday? Things like that. So we might have some, but they haven't really come out with enough of them yet to find anything else. But there's some really good player props. I mean, I think the game, and I think that the prop that everyone's going to love to play is Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
And over under 116.5 rushing yards. How about this? There's not been a rusher that's ran for more than 116 yards since Michael Pittman back in 2003 when he ran for 124 yards for the Bucs versus the Raiders. So
wow.
I have a feeling that Steve Spagnuolo is going to come up with a defense that bends but doesn't break, and he wants to limit Barkley, and he knows if he can probably keep him under 110, 115 yards, they will be victorious. So I think they're going to try to force Philly to throw the football, and if that's the case, people seem to love A.J. Brown and Dallas Goedert on the overs here. I actually like Devonta Smith better. He has faced Steve Spagnuolo-based defenses 3 times. He caught 7 for 122 in one of them, the other 7 for 100, and the third 6 for 99. So the over-under there is just 50.5 yards. I like the over 50.5 yards, and can also wager on his longest reception. It's 20.5 yards. When he's in there, they look to push the ball down the field. So I'll go over also on the longest reception, 20.5 yards. The other side, I like Kansas City for most first downs in the game, plus 105. Also, under 8.5 players will catch a pass. They've kind of shortened they used to use 3 tight ends. Really, you're only using 1, and now they're using a third receiver. That's Juju Smith-Schuster. So I like his over just 13.5 receiving yards, and usually they'll catch him on a crossing pattern. It's not usually a front flanker screen or anything like that. So go with him over 13.5 receiving yards. And here's one for both teams where you can get involved. I love the shortest touchdown, under 1.5 yards. Remember, there's a interference in the end zone. They bring it to the 1 yard line, and what does Philadelphia do? The tush push. And what does Kansas City like to do a lot? They will have Travis Kelce run across the formation, stop under center, and he'll do the quarterback sneak. So it's I think that's one of those plays people think, oh, it can only be 1 yard. Yeah, well, usually ends up hitting.
Yeah, that's interesting. Tush push for Philly. They've made a living on it. So expand on the Saquon deal. That's a big play, 116 yards. You like the under. You just think KC loads it up.
Yeah, I think so. Well, and maybe I wouldn't say so much loads up. They want to make sure he doesn't hit on any big plays. You know, that's where they've been successful, and I think they want to force Jalen Hurts to throw the football.
Okay. Lee Sterling on tonight, ParamountSports.com. There's some prop plays for you. There's just prop plays all over the game. So we'll take a look at this, and let's get into the game itself, Lee. What do you see here? A lot of people have been going Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 1.5.
Well, I think they have the better coach. Obviously, you get to 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. No better play caller than Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. That's combination 1 and 1A there. But, Philly had them in the last game. They were up 14-7. If Jalen Hurts doesn't fumble that ball and it's returned for a touchdown, I thought they were the better team. I still think they're more talented than Kansas City. Maybe playing Kansas City before will help a lot of their players. And in the first game, when they played 2 years ago in the Super Bowl, they didn't get a sack, and they were leading the NFL in sacks. They had the wrong cleats on, believe it or not, put the wrong cleats for the game for their defensive linemen, and it looked like they were on roller skates. The game is indoors. They're not going to have that problem again, and I think having faced him a couple years ago gives them a better idea what to do. So, Not a side I love. It's one of these tougher plays, tougher Super Bowls, but I would probably lean to Philadelphia.
You lean Philly plus 1.5. So I want to get your take on this Philly team. Do you think the line's going to move here? Do you think money's going to be flowing in the next couple of days?
Yeah, I think it's going to close probably a pick 'em.
You do.
Yeah, if you like them, take them right now, 1.5, and who knows? And you could end up with a 24-23 game either way.
All right. Lee Sterling's been on all season long, 9-0 in the playoffs, trying to make it 10. The over-under's 49. That's tough for me. I don't know. Is it high scoring? Is it not?
The better way to play this game might be to do a 2-team 6-point teaser. And here's why. I really think we're going to see a game that's going to come down to one possession. And if that's the case, let's say you take Philly, move it up to 7.5, and then take the total 49. Well, it's actually 48.5 everywhere from 48. Move that down to 42.5 and play the over. So I think Philly plus 7.5 and over 42.5. All we need is a 23-20 score. Probably the better way to play this game.
Wiggle room there with the teaser. Lee Sterling, it's been fun, man. Always great to have you. ParamountSports.com, and people can go there. Sports don't end now. You got March Madness coming up soon.
Oh, yeah. I mean, March Madness is right around the corner. UFC pay-per-view card. We have a max wager, 50-unit wager, our largest wager, coming out for the UFC pay-per-view from Australia on Saturday night. And also, baseball. Baseball's not far away from reporting. So we're winning in all three sports, and you want to hop on board, just one place. Check out all the specials, ParamountSports.com.
Lee, always great. Appreciate you. Thanks a lot.
You too.
All right, Lee Sterling on tonight and all season long. One of the top handicappers in the country. Lucky to get him on the Nate Brown Show all season long. He's on some big markets, and we got him on Fox Sports Radio, South Dakota Sports Talk Show every week throughout the season. Lee Sterling, that's ParamountSports.com, live from Miami. some of his prop plays that he's going with. Most first downs in the game, Kansas City. Okay, I was writing these down. He was going rapid fire. Most first downs, he goes Kansas City. Players to catch a pass in the game, Kansas City, under 8.5 different players to catch a pass. That's an interesting number. He's going to go Devontae Smith, the Eagles wide receiver, over 50.5 yards in the game receiving. Devontae Smith over 50.5 yards in the game. He's going Saquon Barkley under 116 yards rushing. Under 116 yards rushing. Finally, what else did I miss? Shortest touchdown, under 1.5 yards. He says somebody's going to get a tush push from the 1 yard line, so he thinks we're going to go under 1.5 yards on the shortest touchdown of the game. And he goes Chiefs wide receiver prop, Juju Smith-Schuster, over 13.5 yards in the game. 13.5 yards, that's it for Juju Smith-Schuster. That could happen on one play. So he goes over that. He didn't go strong on the pick. That's interesting for Lee. He's made picks all season long. That tells you how tight this one is. He leans Eagles. He is leaning Eagles. Was not a strong pick tonight from Lee Sterling. Good to have him on, breaking it down, the big game, Paramount Sports. I have a feeling my friend Rob Kagron's going to feel strong tonight, for whatever that's worth. Rob Kagron's coming in. Happy hour straight ahead. Brought to you by the Skybox, Rapid City's premier sports bar, and your home for the big game with the 72-inch TVs. They got 35 of them. They got Firehouse beers and the great food specials. That'll be Sunday. Pack it in at the Skybox. Rob Kagron's on his way. First question of the day. Let's take a look at who you're picking. Okay, if you haven't heard the beginning of the show, I'm giving away a $50 gift card to the Skybox for a entry picking the Super Bowl. So just give me your score prediction. What are you taking? Who are you taking? What's the score? We'll give away a $50 gift card to the Firehouse Skybox, downtown Rapid City. $50 sets you up with some good stuff there. Just for a random winner tonight on the text line, 605-720-1067. That's the Barron's Wilson text line. Hit us there. If you haven't sent in your Super Bowl score, the Nate Brown Show picking out a winner tonight. Just want to see which way you're leaning. So far, people going Chiefs. More Chiefs picks tonight than Eagles picks on this show. 605-720-1067. You want to enter? Give us your Super Bowl prediction, and you could win $50 gift card from the Skybox, downtown Rapid City. We'll take a look. Your voting, your scores, and a good one coming up. Haley Timmers on the way. South Dakota State women's basketball. Great play out of Rapid City. Hit a big milestone last night. That's all coming up.
This is the Nate Brown.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
And your place for all the action is at the BetMGM Sportsbook in Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort. Now taking reservations for the big game experience at tinlizzy.com. On February 9th, the two biggest teams in football will meet for the most anticipated game of the year. Let us host the big game for you so you can kick back and enjoy. Get your crew together and reserve your seats now before they're gone. BetMGM at Tin Lizzy is the number one sportsbook in Deadwood, where it's always game on.
Talking car stuff with Brian from Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail. We've talked about remote starts and how they can make your winter life better. But I know that's not the only thing you guys can offer to help brave the cold.
For sure. Remote starts are one of the things that top that list, and we can install an Arctic Start remote start system from just $299.
Nothing better than getting into a warm running car to keep you toasty, right?
Exactly. We also have year-round winter tires by Toyo with a 60,000-mile tread warranty that we absolutely love. They are perfect for where we live, and now save $40 on a set of 4. Plus, save 10% on our Duralast Pro Power Ultra batteries, the only battery with roadside assistance and a 5-year warranty.
Sounds like Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail is the place to winterize your rig.
Stop in or give us a call, and we'll go over all the remote start, tire, and battery options available, and we'll do it with the best prices in the area.
Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail, folks. See anytime.com. We're at the corner of Highway 79 in East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Chance of snow tonight, otherwise cloudy. Lows around 13. Easterly winds around 5 miles per hour. Overcast skies tomorrow, slight chance of snow. Daytime highs approaching 25. Overcast tomorrow night, snow likely 7 above. 1 to 2 inches of snow tonight through tomorrow night. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 29 degrees.
We all know life's busy, and if you get sick, you can get behind pretty quick. That's where Black Hills Urgent Care comes in. No appointments needed, no long waits, just fast, affordable care to get you feeling better quicker. Black Hills Urgent Care has 2 locations in Rapid City on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road. You can simply check in online at bhucare.com. That's with the letter U, bhucare.com. When you need care, see the team at Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
Hey, welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is on. Thursday's show is one of our favorites of the week, right? Happy hour straight ahead. The Drive at 5 on tap. Rob Kegron's coming in as our guest host for the next hour, a full hour of Rob Kegron on the Nate Brown Show. It's presented by the Skybox. You want to talk about Super Bowl parties? Skybox is going to be popping. I've talked to Rob about that. He's like, man, it's awesome. 72-inch TVs, fans are cheering, you're having a great time. So make your plans now. Hit the Skybox Sunday right above the Firehouse upstairs, downtown Main Street, Rapid City. Lot to discuss. We'll get Rob Kegron's pick for Chiefs-Eagles, and we're getting your picks. If you missed my pick, for what it's worth, I am biased. I can admit that. I can admit that. I'm a Broncos fan. So what do you think? I've picked against the Chiefs. I've lost. And you want to know the time I did pick the Chiefs? I'm not kidding this. I'm not kidding you on this. The one time I did pick the Chiefs, when do you think I picked them? Against Tom Brady and the Bucs. And then I got burned. So I go with the 49ers last year. I went with the Eagles a couple of years ago. This is Eagles 2.0. They're better now. Indoors, defense is really good. I still think the Chiefs are not as good as years past. People think they just were messing around in the regular season. They're going to show all sorts of different stuff now, and they turn it up, and they're good. I just go down in flames betting against Patrick Mahomes. I do. So I'm biased. But I go Eagles, and I'm going over the total. I think is a little more high scoring. People think offenses struggle in the Super Bowls, emotion, too much juice, and all that stuff, butterflies. I think they're going to get rolling. Eagles have long drives. Chiefs have long drives usually. And so will they get enough points? Well, I think they'll at least score points. I don't think you're going to see punt fest. So I go Eagles 31, Chiefs 24. That's my official pick on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Your picks, if you want in, we will get you in tonight for a $50 gift card to our friends at the Skybox, Firehouse Skybox, Rapid City's best sports bar, no doubt, right on Main Street. Great place to watch the big game and all of the games, as a matter of fact. March Madness a month away. So hit the Skybox with $50 in your pocket by submitting your Super Bowl prediction score on the text line, 605-720-1067. Let's run through some more. Let's just see which way they're... So early in the first hour here, it was heavy Chiefs picks. Now I'm getting hit by the Eagles picks. So I at least there's a little balance tonight. Let's see. Saquon Barkley being the Super Bowl MVP is a tasty prop bet for me, said the listener text. Okay, Super Bowl MVP. Saquon Barkley, he says. Let's see. 27-24 Eagles. 38-34 Eagles. My goodness, we're just getting hit by the Eagles tonight. Eagles 31-27. So that's a close one to mine. I said 31-24 in the opening hour. That's my official score, 31-24 Eagles. Eagles 34-28. Eagles 31-28. Look out. Now the Eagles taking over a little bit here in the second hour. All right, submit your pick if you want, and we got 1 hour left of the show. We'll pick a winner out tonight off the text line on the Nate Brown Show for a pick of your Super Bowl prediction. All right, which way are you going? You don't have to guess it right. I want your real score, real pick, and we'll pull a random winner off the text line tonight at the end of the show for a $50 gift card to the Skybox. 605-720-1067. The Barron's Wilson text line. Let's go with our next guest to start this hour, Haley Timmer. Great player out of Rapid City. She just hit a milestone last night. She's at South Dakota State. Jack's women's basketball is 20-3. Haley Timmer leading the way. She joins us live from Brookings next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Being in business has its rewards as well as its challenges. It means being the first one in the door in the morning and turning off the lights when you leave at night. Your business is unique, and you need a bank that understands your needs. You deserve the best. You need a financial partner that is invested in your success. You need Pioneer Bank and Trust. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Get ready to save on supplies for your furry and feathered friends at Fleet Farm's Paws and Claws event. Get a free $15 gift card for every $75 you spend on Purina pet products. And stock up on Pine Tree Farm suet cakes. Multiple flavors, 5 for $5. While you're at it, pick up 20 pounds of KT Basic Blend Bird Food, sale priced at $7.99. Stop in and get everything you need for all your pets. All at the best prices guaranteed at Fleet Farm.
Hey Rush fans, it's Rob at the Firehouse Skybox. We are your official home for Rapid City Rush hockey. When the Rush are playing on the road, join other Rush fans at the Skybox and enjoy some great food and cheer on your Rush. We show every Rush away game and we'll have Rush-themed giveaways every road trip. You'll get a chance to win great Rush prizes with the purchase of a drink or food item. The Skybox has the best food and the best Rush game day experience. Go Rush!
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City.
Presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
Welcome back in second hour of the show, Thursday edition. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. A lot to cover coming up. Rob Kegron's our guest host every Thursday. Straight ahead, Rob Kegron on his way. He'll make his Super Bowl pick, and then a lot to discuss tonight. Yes, from the Super Bowl, but then we're going to mix it up a little bit as well. It's been a Super Bowl fest on Fox Sports Radio. We know that. Your score predictions for the big game, we're taking them tonight. Set you up with a $50 gift card. Random winner on the Nate Brown Show tonight. At the end of the show, we'll pick out the winner, $50 to the Skybox, Rapid City's best sports bar, right above the Firehouse, just by submitting a score. Who you taking? Chiefs, Eagles on Sunday, 605-720-1067. Submit your prediction. You want to win the $50 gift card to the Skybox. Set it in there on the Barron's Wilson text line. All right, we've covered her a lot and fun to watch. Having a great career, redshirt junior, South Dakota State guard, Haley Timmer back on tonight. Haley, good to have you on. How are you?
Hi, Nate. I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
Well, I appreciate it. You were a little busy last night, so I was like, hey, we got to get her on today. Let me ask you about last night. You hit a milestone, so I'm going to get to that. But you guys play at UND. You get down by 8 at half, and then you win by 21. You tell me what happened last night.
Yeah, I think we always do a good job of adjusting at halftime, and kind of making those adjustments in the second half really helped us to build a lead. And I think just being disciplined on defense, and not every game is going to be our best shooting game. So having to win some games by defense is what we have to do. So I think it just takes what it takes, and we had to make that adjustment at halftime. Talking Jacks women's basketball with former St. Thomas More guard Haley Timmer. She's second on the team in scoring now for the Jacks. She's back this year. You were out last year. I wanted to ask you first about that. What was that like being out? You had such a great start to your career as a freshman. Then you had to sit out. What was it like last year getting back? Yeah, it was really challenging to be out. I was out for a whole season, which was challenging to sit on the sidelines and watch it from a different point of view. But I think there was a lot of blessings in that and a lot of learning experiences in that. And I got to see the game from a different point of view, and I think I learned a lot about basketball, but also about myself and just the resilience it took to get back. I think I learned a lot about myself.
I want to ask you, when you're out the whole season, how do you become, this is for young players to learn. You probably sat back and, as you said, learned some things. How did you still be a great teammate?
Yeah, I think I've always been super close with my teammates from my time here at South Dakota State, and so just clinging to those relationships, and we were very involved in practice still, even though me and Callie and Maddie V were out. So just maintaining those relationships and just supporting them through all the ups and downs of the season, because it's not always easy just because you're playing. So I think they supported us, and then we supported them back. So
Haley Timmer out last season, now back this season, had a big milestone last night. So you hit 1,000 points. You still got some time left, but you hit 1,000 points. That's an individual thing, but it's also a team basketball thing. When you hit the mark in college, what do you think of it now that you're one of that select group that's done that at SDSU, a great women's program?
Yeah, it's honestly an honor just to have that reflection of what a career I've had at SDSU, and I don't think that is done alone at all. And so just reflecting on all the teammates I've had that have pushed me to become better, and the coaching and just the whole Jackrabbit Nation as a whole has been amazing since my time here, and just has helped me to thrive as a student athlete and just improve in basketball. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun to hit that milestone. Haley Timmer scores now 1,000 points in her career for the Jacks, former St. Thomas More guard, now out at South Dakota State, and they're 20-3. So this is 20 wins again. So many years in a row. I think I saw 14 years, 20 wins or more for this program.
You guys this year, you played a tough schedule. Talk about you're 20-3. You've played Duke. You've played Texas. You played Creighton. What do you feel this season's challenged you? It feels like you guys got to feel good, 20-3 after a pretty rough schedule and so far a good conference record.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I think we always try to schedule a hard schedule, and not many teams can say that they won 20 games in a season, and so we don't take that for granted, and we're definitely have those standards, but we also enjoy it and just try to keep it going.
I'll tell you, win last night over UND. Haley Timmer hits 1,000 points. I just said you're averaging 12.7 points a game. That's good. You're second on the team in scoring. I just look at how you guys play. It's like everybody's the other starters around 8, another 8.5. It seems like nobody really is like, okay, I have to be the one. Talk about the attack here with everybody.
Yeah, I think that's the greatest strength of our team is just how versatile we are and how many talented players we have on our team and just how deep we are. If somebody's not hitting, we always have more options, and we just love to play together, and I think that's what makes us a great team and helps us to get to that 20-point winning season. So,
South Dakota State guard Haley Timmer on the Nate Brown Show. Wanted to check in with her. Hits 1,000 points in her college career at South Dakota State. Now a redshirt junior, back after being out all of last season. The goal, Haley, is what? Summit League title. Then you get that done, and what could you do in the NCAA tournament? How do you approach the rest of the year?
Yeah, I think always the mindset is one game at a time, one practice at a time. What can we be doing to improve each day? And so just keeping our focus narrow for now, but yes, we do have high hopes for postseason too, is obviously always wanting to excel in the Summit League tournament, and then beyond that, yes, it'd be really fun to make a run in the NCAA. So, yes. One day at a time.
Oral Roberts coming up this weekend, and then I have to ask you, like, what's Haley Timmer do on Super Bowl Sunday? What do you do? You watch the game? Are you a football fan? What's the deal?
Well, I'm actually a big Chiefs fan.
Oh, my
I will
gosh.
be watching the game. Very excited for that.
Okay, very nice. I'm a Broncos fan. I'm sorry. I have to end the interview. That's it. I'm sorry. But congrats. They might three-peat. Enjoy the weekend. Good luck on Saturday against Oral Roberts. Congrats on the 1,000 point. We're watching from out here. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nate.
Thanks a lot. Haley Timmer on tonight. We've checked in with her throughout her career. We'll continue to do that. Great player, St. Thomas More. We covered her in high school here in town, and now at South Dakota State. Redshirt junior, averaging 12.7 points a game, second on the team in scoring, and hits 1,000 points last night in the win over UND. And the Jackrabbit women, what a program. Coach AJ, they just got it rolling. 20-3. 20-3. Haley Timmer on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Let's go with Rob Kegron. It's time. Happy hour. Super Bowl edition. A lot to discuss. We'll start with a score prediction, and we'll go from there. Rob Kegron in next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
At Highmark Credit Union, we are big sports fans, and even bigger fans of our teachers. That's why we offer debit cards featuring our local high school mascots on the front. These cards are awesome, and every time you use your card, Highmark makes a donation to the school activity clubs. Highmark has donated over $5,000 locally to Rapid City and Douglas schools. So make the smart money move, show your school spirit, and open an account at Highmark. Visit highmarkfcu.com.
This isn't just the sound of a legendary Brunswick pool table. It's the sound of families about to make memories together. And while this may sound like the hum of a spa, listen closely, and you'll hear backyard fun for years to come. So while Splash City's guarantee of quality sure sounds good, we know quality time sounds even better.
Who wants another burger? Splash City, 1024 West Omaha, across from Connects in Rapid City.
Trees and shrubs are important to the beauty and value of your home landscape. To help maintain them, Warren Chemical and Equipment Company offers a host of professional tree health care services. They fertilize trees and shrubs to encourage healthy color and growth, offer tree and shrub pest control to protect them from insects and disease, and have a consultation service to diagnose and recommend solutions for tree problems. For healthy trees and shrubs in your landscaping, Warren Chemical has the people who know and care. Call Warren Chemical at 342-7644 for fertilizing, spraying, and other types of disease and insect control.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Chance of snow tonight, otherwise cloudy. Lows around 13. Easterly winds around 5 miles per hour. Overcast skies tomorrow, slight chance of snow. Daytime highs approaching 25. Overcast tomorrow night, snow likely 7 above. 1 to 2 inches of snow tonight through tomorrow night. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 29 degrees.
If you want the peace of mind that your next pre-owned vehicle is the best it can be, you want Honda True. And you only find it at Danny Manholt Rushmore Honda. Our Honda certified pre-owned vehicles are thoroughly inspected and backed by 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage, up to 2 complimentary oil changes, 24/7 roadside assistance, inspection report, and 3-day exchange. You simply can't buy the wrong vehicle. Search our inventory at honda-true.com or see us at Denny Manholt Rushmore Honda.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Jensen at Physio. We want to be your trusted partner for physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab. As the official strength and conditioning partners for Stevens, Central, Douglas, and the Rapid City Rush, our team at Physio is building the best athletes in the Black Hills. If you have an athlete in the family, we offer long-term athlete development at affordable prices for middle and high school students. We also have the only board-certified sports PT in Rapid City. At our brand new facility, Physio is ready to help you perform at your best. One-on-one physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab, all at one place. Get started at bhphysio.com.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker Black Hills Legacy in Rapid City. Have you thought about buying a home or real estate in the Black Hills? Maybe you want to upgrade to your forever home? I have been helping people in the Black Hills find the right home for nearly 20 years. When it comes to buying or selling, experience matters. Let me do the work and you can open the door to your new home. Say hello to a good buy with me, David Brenneman. To get started, just Google David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown.
Welcome back in. Thursday is happy hour on the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Radio, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Glad you're here. If you missed parts of the show, go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. A reminder, every show is there on Apple, Spotify, Amazon. Search the Nate Brown Show, and you've got every show. Haley Timmer just moments ago broke into a little college basketball with former St. Thomas More star, now at South Dakota State. Hit 1,000 points last night. Congrats to her. Wanted to get her on tonight. Jackrabbit women just back again, 20-3. Lee Sterling made his pick. Paramount Sports. He was not strong. He even said it. He said, "I can't say strong tonight." That's not like one of the first times Lee's done that. Handicapper out of Miami, Paramount Sports. He's made picks all season long. He was not strong on his pick. I'm kind of like that because I'm telling you, I'm a Broncos fan, so I'm biased. The one time, Rob Kegron, I bet against, I bet for Patrick Mahomes. I should say the one time I bet for Patrick Mahomes, it was the Tom Brady game.
Wow.
So then I got burned.
Yep.
So then that even made me hate the Chiefs even more.
Because you lost money on them.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, oh, don't bet against Mahomes. And then I got burned. And now I've been burned the last couple of years because I've went with the 49ers and went with the Eagles. So it's time. Rob Kegron's in. The Skybox is the place for the Super Bowl. 72-inch TVs. They got 35 of them. They got the Firehouse Brews. It's going to be rocking on Sunday. So make your plans to hit the Skybox downtown, right above the Firehouse, Rapid City's premier sports bar. Eagles, Chiefs. Let's do this, Rob Kegron. It's time. Stop messing around, and it's time. We're not screwing around tonight. I've already made my pick, so I put it in the first hour because we're taking score predictions from all the listeners tonight for that $50 gift card to the Skybox. Here's what happened. First hour, heavy Chiefs picks.
Yep.
First hour, heavy Chiefs picks. Last 15 minutes, heavy Eagles picks.
Wow.
So what's that tell you? The Eagles fans have to work till 5. Anyway, what's the deal? Chiefs fans already got the weekend off. Rob Kegron, how do you see this game going? You've been thinking. You've been wondering. You're the football expert, right, on the Nate Brown Show. Let's see it. Let's hear it.
Nate, this is one of the... When I say one of the most interesting games, I don't actually mean it in the sense that the game itself is interesting. You and I talked about this last week. We're all a little bit Chiefs out. The idea that we're having a rematch of just a couple of Super Bowls ago, that's not interesting. To me, the matchup, though, is interesting. In fact, it's fascinating. You think about Kansas City and their prolific success over the last number of years, going for a three-peat. They got, you could argue, it's an easy argument, the best triangle of guys that are involved of the two sides. The best coach, Reid is better than Sirianni. The best quarterback, Mahomes is better than Hurts.
Yep.
And Spagnuolo, even though Fangio is a very good defensive coordinator, you can argue that Spagnuolo is the best defensive coordinator of all time. So you got those three, and they're better than their counterparts on the Eagles side. And yet, the Chiefs are a 1-point favorite when... How many times have we seen Patrick Mahomes lose a playoff game?
I know.
3 times
I know.
in his career? And they're only a 1-point favorite. Well, what does that say? That this Eagles team is a very, very good team. Now, being a very good team doesn't win you a Super Bowl. You and I both know that. But if this game to me reminds me, not in terms of style of play, but if you think about like Patriots were 18-0, right, going into that Super Bowl 42 against the Giants, right? Now, they were a huge favorite in that game, so it's not the same, but there was so much of an expectation that the Pats would win. And yet, the Giants went in there, they pressured Brady, they sacked him like 5 or 6 times in that
only
game.
4 guys, that was key.
Right, and they put a lot of pressure on those Patriots, and Eli did what he normally does in a fourth quarter in those big games, and he found a way to win that game. Think about other games like that. I would even argue that the Patriots-Eagles Super Bowl, right? Nick Foles is going to win the, this is after Wentz got hurt.
Right.
Nick Foles is going to go in and beat and this was right after Brady had brought his team back from 28-3 the year before against Atlanta. They go into Minnesota and they're playing Philadelphia in that Super Bowl, and they're like, come on, Patriots can't lose this game, right? But the Eagles had a great game plan to beat a team like that. How do you beat Patrick Mahomes? Well, in the games where he's lost, he's had turnovers for sure, or he's been pressured a ton. I think about that one you mentioned just a little bit ago, the Tampa Super Bowl, right?
Yep.
His offensive line was a mess. It wasn't on Mahomes by any means, but he was pressured so much in that game. He couldn't go anywhere without getting chased all over the place. I would say the same thing in the game against Cincinnati and that AFC Championship game that they lost, where Cincy eventually lost to the Rams in the Super Bowl. Pressured a lot, didn't play his best game. How do you beat him? I think you have to. You're never going to jar him so badly that he loses his composure, but you have to get to him, right? You can't let him bounce out to the side and have plenty of time, because that's where he makes magic.
Can they? That's the thing. Can they?
Can they is the absolute question. They are 17-0, the Kansas City Chiefs, in their 17 out of 17 in one-possession games. Their last 17 one-possession games, they've won every single one. That is an unbelievable stat. Eventually it has to end, right? I'm not so sure.
What? Yeah,
but here's what I'm going to say. I really think that this is a game that the Eagles are going to change the way that the Chiefs want to play this game. I'm going to go all the way back to 1991. And I know you're going to say I'm just talking about Giants stuff, but these games were really big Super Bowls.
I remember
the
these.
Giants-Bills Super Bowl 25.
Yeah.
The Bills were a heavy favorite. Parcells goes to his team, Bill Parcells, and he says, there's only one way we're going to win this game, right? We can't stop Buffalo's prolific offense.
Yeah.
But one thing we can do, we can keep them on the sideline. And in that game, the New York Football Giants had the ball for 40 of the 60 minutes. They just ran the ball and ran the ball and ran the ball.
I remember that.
And they kept the Bills off the field.
Otis Anderson, was that?
Absolutely.
Right? How about that?
That's a great.
Was Rodney Hampton in the mix there?
I don't think he was there yet. Otis Anderson was tremendous in that game. Hostetler was great in the game too, but they ran the ball so much, and that was their best defense was keeping the other team off the field. I think that is going to be a blueprint if Philadelphia is going to win.
You know Spagnuolo's going to stop. He's going to do everything to stop Saquon Barkley.
How do you stop Saquon? I think that's... Now, can you slow him down? I was listening to a lot of radio this week, and I think a lot of people would see it as a success if you limited Barkley to like 105 or 110 yards.
His yards are 116. That's the over-under. 116.
If you go under that, I'd say you have a really good chance to beat him. But I think Barkley is going to pound them. Is he going to have a 70-yard run? Probably not. Not like he's had it over the last few playoff games. But are they going to pound him? I think so. I think it's tough to win these games every single time. 17-0 eventually is going to be 17-1 or 18-1 or 19-1.
The Bills ran it against the Chiefs. We saw that. They did. But they were trying to stop Josh Allen, too. I don't think the Chiefs think, Jalen Hurts, that's no Josh Allen, so let's stop Barkley. That's my worry.
I'd say Mixon, for Houston, even ran it pretty well against Kansas City a few weeks ago. I know I've belabored this point, and I've really struggled with this game, and that's why I said it's an interesting, fascinating matchup.
You're not strong.
I think
iffy.
Anybody who says they are strong in this is a homer for one team or the other.
I said I was going to go get $8,000 out, but...
I mean, you could just throw it up in the air and see what happens, I guess.
It's windy in South Dakota.
I think you'd have to be a homer to be that strong. This is such an evenly matched game. In my mind, the defensive line for Philly and the offensive line for Philly
there it is.
are both better than the opposite side for Kansas City. Not by leaps and bounds, but a little bit better. I think this is a one-possession game. I think this is a game that comes down to the fourth quarter. I think the Eagles are going to sack them 4 times at least. The Eagles have turned the ball over. Their opponents have turned the ball over against them in the playoffs 10 times. This playoffs. The Eagles have not turned the ball over at all. I think that trend continues. I think Philly doesn't pull a shock by any means, but puts an end to this three-peat nonsense. I think they do just enough to win. I don't think Mahomes has a bad game, but I think he gets rattled enough that he makes a mistake or two. Nothing crazy. 24-23, Philadelphia.
Really?
Field goal at the end of the game.
That close.
Razor thin.
I hope it's not a field goal at the end of the game. That's iffy, because I've seen
Short
that.
field goal.
Yeah.
Short field goal.
I've seen that. 24-23. What a breakdown from Rob Kegron tonight. By the way, mine was 31-24.
Eagles or Chiefs?
Eagles.
Wow,
31,
you have a 55-point game.
Yeah, I got 55. They're going to say the offenses are, they're going to have the yips and the butterflies and they're going to struggle. I think these guys, I just saw this stat, 10 plays or more in their drives, 10-play drives or more, they're top 2. Top 2.
Good stat.
10 plays or more. So maybe that shortens up the game, but that means they get points.
Yep.
So it's touchdowns or field goals. So I'm going to go over the 48.5, 49, 31-24.
Wow.
But I'm biased.
Convincing
you know
win.
that.
You are.
You know that.
You are.
Eagles are better. You say the Eagles are better. It's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a fun game. So we take the Eagles for what it's worth. By the way, speaking of sports betting, there's something that's been talked about here in South Dakota. We have it, right? You go to Deadwood, you place your bets. I was saying I got to do that. What do you think about a possible change should the voters get a chance to do that when it comes to sports betting? There's a Senate joint resolution that just came out yesterday. Rob and I will discuss next.
This is the Nate Brown.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Are new windows from Renewal by Andersen a great investment? You're darn right they are. Did you know that for less than your cable bill or cell phone bill each month, you could have new windows from Renewal by Andersen right now? Do the math. Renewal by Andersen windows will likely cut your energy bills significantly. They will likely substantially increase the value of your home. They're a great investment. Please contact our team now and ask about our fantastic financing options with approved credit right now. Renewal by Andersen, a great investment? You're darn right.
At SpearfishMotors.com.
Great news. I just got the State Farm Personal Price Plan on our home and auto insurance.
You told our agent about my thing for romance novels?
No, you don't have to get that personal. Our agent just helped me choose affordable options to create a personalized price just for us.
Oh, sweet. Then you won't believe the love triangle Jen is in now.
Contact me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Looking for a great place for a pregame meal that really satisfies? Or maybe you want a place to take your all-star after the game. Or you're looking for a place to enjoy a delicious meal while watching your favorite team on the big screen TV. Valley Sports Bar and Grill has all the bases covered for all those things and more. Top-notch, friendly, and attentive service. Wall-to-wall big screen TVs with all the big games. And the absolute best wings in Rapid City. Valley Sports Bar. Make it your place. 1865 Valley Drive, Rapid City.
The doctors and staff at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center have provided expert bone, joint, and muscle care to patients in the Black Hills area since 1976. Whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just want to continue your active lifestyle, the orthopedic experts at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center will help you stay in the game. Don't let an injury keep you from doing the things you love. Trust the team at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. Learn more at bhosc.com.
Building projects can be complex. The risks are great and time is money. Consolidated Construction of Rapid City simplifies the process by being your advocate, guiding you through funding, design, and construction. They manage the players and the schedule and marry the design to your budget so you get the most for your investment. They promise an energizing experience before, during, and after construction. It's not enough that you get a quality building. They pledge you'll experience quality every step of the way. Consolidated Construction. OneCallToBuild.com.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
Welcome back into Your Sports, Your Show. Glad you're here. Appreciate it. It's been a fun week. Checking in with some Super Bowl champions this week. Had some Chiefs coverage, some Eagles coverage. We fair and balanced on Fox Sports Radio on the Nate Brown Show, where Rob Kegron and I both took the Eagles. Fair and balanced. We just had a listener text from a Chiefs fan. He said, "That's funny, guys. That's funny." Well, I think it is going to be funny when you catch that L. No, I'm just waiting for that. You know I'm waiting for this. You're not like a Chiefs hater. No. You're kind of Chiefs out. I've been waiting for the Chiefs to lose here.
I'm absolutely not going to revel in them losing, but I am a little tired of the same story year in and year out with them winning and being dominant. So I'd be happy to watch them lose. And
you don't like the Eagles though, so you're in a tough spot.
No, I hate both of these. I shouldn't say that. I don't hate the Chiefs at all. I hate the Eagles, but I'm tired of watching the Chiefs over and over again. Don't get me wrong. I respect them. I love watching the talent of Mahomes and the genius and brilliance of Reed and Spagnuolo, but I'm tired of it. I want something different.
By the way, we have a listener text, 605-720-1067. You can text the show on the Barron's Wilson text line. He said, "I want justice for the Bills, and I'm not going to watch."
You got to watch.
He wants justice for the Bills. Does that sound like he thinks this is an NFL conspiracy?
Well,
the Bills got hosed and he's not going to watch now?
I mean, that's crazy talk. I mean, the Bills did not get hosed. The Bills really committed their own series of errors in losing that game. I'm not saying that The Chiefs don't get some calls.
They get calls.
They do. But in that particular AFC Championship game, that was not the reason why Buffalo lost that game.
No,
you and I agree on that.
You have to beat them Sunday. I mean, and I think the Eagles know this. Like, I think the Eagles have enough of an edge, and I know Sirianni's out-coached and the whole thing. They just feel like they got a little edge. Like, I like that dog a little bit. They feel like they got edge. I felt like the Bills were hoping. They're just hoping to get over the top. I think the Eagles are cocky enough. They think, we're going to take these guys.
And I think the fact that 2 years ago, you could argue that they outplayed the Chiefs in that Super Bowl. And there was a bad call at the end of that game, that defensive holding that essentially gave Kansas City the opportunity to kick that field goal. But Hurts had a tremendous Super Bowl that game, and now you've added the best running back in the league. There's one other thing I forgot to mention when we gave the prediction, and this I think is a really great stat. The last time a team that made the Super Bowl had the number one rusher in the NFL and the number one defense was the 1992 Dallas Cowboys, and they won that Super Bowl. And I think that's a tough combination when you have the best defense and what wins
the best running back.
What wins championships when we grew up? I know the game has evolved and it's different.
Yeah, but
defense and running the ball, you control that clock and you have an opportunity to win the game.
Cowboys of the early 90s. Okay, so we're talking about betting on the game, and I had Lee Sterling on, and I said, I'm going to try and get my play in here. So betting's been going through Deadwood, and people have enjoyed it. I do live shows up there. I think it's a lot of fun. So Super Bowl Sunday is going to be popping, and sports betting in Deadwood's where it happens in South Dakota. Now, throughout the country, a lot of states have done mobile betting. For example, Colorado. I know you could just get on every single app and just bet on every single thing. And there's a South Dakota Senate resolution. This is a Senate joint resolution. Just came out yesterday. I don't know how far it's going to go. If it'll get to a vote, we'll see. They said we should look at mobile sports betting, still regulated through Deadwood. That would mean casino licenses and operators there. But it would be mobile betting statewide. And should we send this to the voters on a general election? I've heard feedback on this, Rob, where we bet on sports for entertainment. I've enjoyed it. I go to Vegas, the whole thing. There's people that are just against betting in general that say, you can't have it right there on your phone. This is going to be a mess. This is the pushback I think you're going to get a little bit. It's been brought up at the South Dakota legislature. It's been defeated. Not even sending it to the voters. It's been defeated the last couple of years, this mobile side.
Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't. If you're for, Deadwood is such a huge part of the history of this state, right? And it's a special, I was just up there a few weekends ago. I love going up there. I love playing table games. I obviously, you and I both enjoy some sports gambling. I like placing bets up there. But let's be honest, Deadwood is, it's a hill town in western South Dakota. There's a whole big state here of people who certainly go to Deadwood, but can you go up on a regular basis? For us, it's just, a 45-minute drive, essentially. You live in Sioux Falls. A lot of people listen to us here in Sioux Falls. That's a, 5.5-hour drive to Deadwood?
You're not going to do that. Maybe a special weekend, that's it.
Yeah, maybe once a football season at most, maybe. If we're for sports betting, right, and I'm not saying it should be unregulated, right? You have to have regulations, and even this proposal is essentially saying let's keep it to where it's licensed through all of the Deadwood casinos that have sports books. So they would have to have the apps, and a lot of these are affiliated with bigger corporations now anyway, particularly for their sports gaming. Well, if we're for the sports betting, then obviously we should be for it on your app, because you can't necessarily just go to Deadwood whenever you want to make a bet.
And you say for it on the app because tax revenue. People have said in Sioux Falls, they just go to Iowa.
Yep.
Right next door. They'd go to Grand Falls Casino. Now they don't offer sports betting. We'll see if anybody fills that gap. But you can still have an app, and you go into Iowa. You can do that. It's 15 minutes away. Some of the line there. So I've done that. I've been to the casino there and went to the sports book in Sioux Falls. So they're thinking, hey, this whole state, as you said, now you wouldn't have to do the Iowa thing. You could do it through Deadwood.
Absolutely. And I think once you legalize it on that mobile side, I'm not saying there aren't challenges, and there certainly are risks and pitfalls. People obviously go down a path sometimes, and there are some dangers, of course, to any kind of gambling, right? Sports gambling, certainly. And making it easier for people brings up those risks and pitfalls. But once you start to, and it's become the norm, let's be fair, across the entire United States, right? It wasn't that many years ago where they wouldn't, the big stations, whether it be radio or television, wouldn't talk about the gambling lines, right? Now, you have whole segments, whole shows just dedicated to that. You look at ESPN on the ticker, every single game has the line next to it, right? It's become part of the norm of our society. Well, I think it actually helps Deadwood by doing this, right? Because, and I have, this, I have some really good connections in Las Vegas, some sports books that I do a lot of stuff with that I have good friends in. And I remember as it started to become more and more popular throughout the country and started to get legalized throughout the country, I asked my buddy at the South Point Casino in Las Vegas, said, is this going to be bad for your business? The fact that all of these other places are going to do it. And he said, Rob, he's like, it's the best thing that could ever happen. Because it becomes part of the norm so that when you come to Vegas, I want to get my bet in, right? I want to bet on sports. And it's not like you're betting your whole house on it. You go and put a $10 parlay in or a $20 bet on a team. It becomes part. So instead of just going to play blackjack or just going to play craps, you also throw $20 on a game. And so it's good for Deadwood. It's good for the revenue. It's certainly good. And I think when I read this proposal, and you sent it to me earlier, like the whole idea was that the revenue would offset property taxes.
Yeah, the tax revenue side of this. So some of the tax revenue would go property tax relief. And I think that's a popular thing. People are like, well, heck. Yeah. I don't know how that would work. You'd have to iron that out. Here's my big thing with it. And I said, there's arguments both sides. My big thing is I believe voters usually should get to decide. We decided if we were going to have sports betting in general on the general election ballot years ago. Can we let the voters vote on it? If they say no, you keep it in Deadwood. That's it. That's what this resolution says. It doesn't say mobile betting, we're going to lock it in, that's it. They're trying to send it to the voters. And I said, why not?
Yeah, and I'm generally okay with that. I don't want to get into the whole political side of this. I think if it's legal in Deadwood, the legislators who we vote in should just let it be legal via an app throughout the state.
But they won't. Yeah. I'm telling you, a lot of them won't.
Yeah, and I just remember going into this past election and going into my polling place and looking at the ballot, and there were like 7 or 8 different paragraph-long questions. I'm like, and I had done my research, so I knew what I was getting myself into.
You had to,
but
though.
You still have to read the things before you put pen to paper. It's like, come on, guys. I mean, do I have to vote on? I mean, what are you going to give me? Every option known to man of what I should vote on?
A lot of initiated measures.
So I'm for letting the voters decide, certainly. But we've already allowed it. Let's just allow it.
So that's where we're at. Senate Joint Resolution. I've been told, look out, it may get pulled because they're still working through things like details. So this one may get pulled. I've been told that by a pretty good source. We'll see. Senate Joint Resolution, mobile sports betting, should it go to the voters? We'll keep an eye on it. The legislative session continues this month. Coming right back on the Nate Brown Show Happy Hour, brought to you by the Skybox, downtown Rapid City. Your home for the Super Bowl on Sunday. It'll be rocking. So, NBA trade deadline. Let's jump into this. NBA trade deadline today. People got their own way. I just saw a guy say, pro athletes today are the most entitled they've ever been. Is that right? Next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Are new windows from Renewal by Andersen a great investment? You're darn right they are. Did you know that for less than your cable bill or cell phone bill each month, you could have new windows from Renewal by Andersen right now? Do the math. Renewal by Andersen windows will likely cut your energy bills significantly. They will likely substantially increase the value of your home. They're a great investment. Please contact our team now and ask about our fantastic financing options with approved credit right now. Renewal by Andersen, a great investment? You're darn right.
Rapid City has a new sports facility that you have to check out. E3 Sports Complex on East North Street is the newest indoor sports facility featuring 4 full courts. E3 Sports is here to serve the community and wants all athletes of any age to come and experience expert training, coaching, and the opportunity to unlock your athletic potential. Memberships and court rentals are available now. Come to play at E3 Sports Complex. Learn more at e3sports.org. We're talking with Rihanna Wickett at Elevate Performance Physical Therapy for another Elevate Performance Health Minute. Rihanna, as we all get older, one of the most common injuries, pains, back pain.
We see it every day.
There's a lot of things that can cause it, right?
Absolutely. There's a multitude of different things that can cause back pain, whether that's strength or something that you tweaked it. So it's really important that we get you looked at and figure out what's actually causing that, because so many things can cause the different types of back pain.
Okay, so what's interesting about it, you could have pain in the back, but then there's also a problem with your back, and now that turns into sciatica.
Yeah, sciatica, it tends to come down through the buttock into the leg, and back pain generally just stays right within the back. You might have something traveling, numbness and tingling, pain shooting down past the knee even, all the way to the foot. We definitely want to get that taken care of sooner than later.
Back pain relief, sciatica relief. Get started at elevateperformancesd.com.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, the Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio. A reminder, you can watch this show live on X. Follow us on X at Nate Brown Show and watch us live. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you don't listen to the radio all the time. We are on YouTube, The Nate Brown Show. Subscribe. You've got the live show and the archive shows there. It's been a fun, super week getting set for the big game at the Skybox downtown Rapid City. Great sports bar, our favorite, right above the Firehouse. It'll be rolling on Sunday, I'll tell you. I just, make a surprise appearance, see if I can jab any Chiefs fans a little bit. We'll see. Sunday, Skybox, get there above the Firehouse downtown Main Street. So here's one I want to wrap up on. So our predictions are in, the big game, we're set, we're all good to go. So NBA trade deadline happened, and it's kind of a side note this week, but some pretty big trades here. You got Jimmy Butler whined, and he's the worst teammate you've ever seen in your life, and then he gets his way, $111 million, and he gets to go play with the Warriors, try and make a playoff run. Wow, doesn't that look nice? So I saw a sports guy today say, the player entitlement today is the worst he's ever seen. This is a long-time sports host. Long time. He said, player entitlement just off the charts. So I'm going to ask you, Rob Kegron, to wrap up the show, are pro athletes, maybe athletes in general, college to the pros, more entitled today than before?
Absolutely. I don't even think it's...
Absolutely.
100%, Nate. I mean... You think of the stars of, say, the 60s, 70s, 80s, while they were still big stars and they still, relatively made a tremendous amount of money, the money that they make, but I'd say even more how they are coddled, how players are coddled now, gives them that sense of entitlement. Like, you look at these trades these past few days, right, and you go on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. I still call it Twitter. I can't get that out of my head. And you see these photos, or even on Instagram, like these guys are getting sent in private jets from one team that they're traded to the next, right? And it's like this whole big red carpet that comes out for them when they get to their new team. And it's a different level of what they experience on a daily basis that I don't fault them for being entitled, right? I think it's the system that's created around them that allows them to feel that sense of entitlement. Right?
So I talked to an NBA writer. He's covered the Celtics a long time. And I said this I said, look at Jimmy Butler. What a disaster. And he's been a national NBA writer. I said, this is ridiculous. He's going to whine. He's going to put up a big stink, and then they're going to suspend him, and then they're going to have to get rid of him. And then he got his way. He's going to the Warriors, and he's all happy now. I said, this type of stuff didn't happen back in the day. And he said, well, you got to remember, there were players back in the day. Karl Malone was mad at the Jazz, and the Pistons had their issue with Isaiah Thomas. And so he said, you just didn't hear about it like you do now.
Well, it certainly happened. And there's a great story about Kareem, playing for Milwaukee and wanting to be traded. And he talks to his GM at the time. I can't remember the guy's name at this moment. But the GM basically says to him, listen, don't say anything. Be very quiet about this. Play your butt off this year, and I promise you I will trade you at the end of the year. And he did. He was the MVP of the league and then got traded to the Lakers, right? So they did it, but they did it in a different way. They didn't stomp their feet, right, and pout until I get my way like a guy like Jimmy Butler does, right? So I think it happened. So he's right. It happened. You didn't hear about it as much, but they handled it better, the players then, than they do now.
I'm still saying it happens more today.
Oh, it absolutely happens more, right? And
you got Myles Garrett, and I'm interested to see what you say on this. That's entitlement. Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year, $125 million record deal. He's upset because the Browns stink, and now he wants out. And now Denzel Ward, DB for him, says, well, I don't know. If Myles leaves, that's not good for me. What are we going to do with this?
Well, it happens a lot more, Nate, in the NBA than it does
but
in the NFL.
Now It's leaking.
Yeah, but how many guys demand trades in the NFL and actually get them, or at least get them the way they want? Right? To me, it's a lot trickier in the NFL when you're one of 53 than in the NBA where one guy can truly put a team over the top. Myles Garrett is a great player.
Garrett.
He's not going to put a team over the top.
What are they going to do? What are they going to do? You think the Browns are going to hang on to him?
Well,
he's going to pout and be a problem in there?
Let's take it from the GM perspective. If you were the GM of the Browns, the guy doesn't want to be here, you're probably not winning next year anyway. If you can get some good draft picks for him, doesn't that set you up for success more than keeping him around?
Point being, he gets his own way again. And you wouldn't have seen this. What if Justin Jefferson, I told the Vikings fans, let's say the Vikings, J.J. McCarthy doesn't work out for a couple of years. Let's say he's not very good.
Yep.
Can Justin whine and say, this is a bad deal. I want to go somewhere else. I want to go play with Josh Allen.
Yeah, absolutely. He can, and he might.
It's ridiculous.
I completely agree that it's not conduct that you'd ever want to emulate or you'd want to show your kids. But the fact of the matter is that the player really does, not as much in the NFL, but the player does, the superstar player has a lot of influence, a lot of power to get what they want.
Listener reaction to this, I said, why are pro athletes more entitled today than ever before? This is why I ask on Twitter. 47% vote the money makes them that way. You threw that out. 34% say our entire society is more entitled today. And 19% say they've been praised and coddled from day one. Listener text, at what age do people start calling the younger generations entitled? So apparently at my age, and your age.
Yeah. Early to mid-40s.
That is it. Thanks for listening to the Nate Brown Show in the books on a Thursday. So a reminder, Sunday, Skybox has the Super Bowl party. It'll be rocking. It's right above the Firehouse. Eagles, Chiefs. Have a great time. Hit the Skybox downtown on Main Street. Rob Kegron out. Nate Brown Show in. Podcast going up. Good luck. We take the Eagles. See ya.
In towns all across South Dakota, it's your banker